schools and put those kids, and by extension their parents and grandparents, in harm's way, the teachers, all of whom undoubtedly will be affected by this.
The biggest risk to the spread of the pandemic is opening up the schools. We shouldn't be opening up to more arena to spread.
You'll be able to safely send the kids, the students, the teachers back to the classrooms for the fall semester?
Well, I'm concerned.
She's concerned, all right, about President Trump's reelection and winning the state of Michigan. Well, what the liberal hacks on TV and running blue states won't be telling you is about the new startling evidence on COVID and schools. Let's start with a brand new study by Brown University researchers that found less than 1% of students, I think it's fewer than 1% of students, and teachers have contracted COVID since classes started. And then this, despite over 48,000 COVID positive cases among college students from 37 universities, there have been just 2 hospitalizations and 0 deaths reported. 0. Joining me now is Phil Kerpen, president of the Committee to Unleash Prosperity. Phil, I hate to say, see, we told you so, but this is what we were predicting months ago. Is there any evidence whatsoever to suggest that schools will be super spreaders?
Well, Laura, I'll say it. We did tell them so. We said this wouldn't happen because we watched what happened every place in the world when they opened schools, or it would be better to say what didn't happen. We didn't have outbreaks. We didn't have increased spread. Children seem to terminate infection chains, not to pass this on. And we have a lot of research now that children may even have a protective effect around adults because they expose them to other normal, everyday viruses that build up their immune systems. And so I'm not surprised by these results. I think this was expected. I think the media is very disappointed that they're not getting the big outbreaks that they were hoping for another big crisis and more scare stories. I don't know if you noticed the Washington Post headline on this actually said, study shows no school outbreaks yet. They put the word yet in there, like they're still holding out hope that it's going to happen. And the other thing that was really interesting in this Brown study, Laura, is they actually found that among teachers, the infection rates were very, very low everywhere, but among teachers, they were slightly higher for the teachers who were doing remote instruction as opposed to the teachers who were doing in-classroom instruction of actual kids. So the idea that we were somehow protecting teachers by not having kids in the room doesn't seem to be borne out.
Well, Phil, we tried to warn them that they were going to spread chaos. They were going to be super spreaders of chaos and poor learning if they kept the schools closed. And this new CDC data, Phil, I have to ask you about, is just published, shows that the fatality rate for people who actually get the virus from ages 0 to 19 is minuscule. The survival rate for that group, ready? 99.997%. 0 to 19. Even 70 plus, it's only, I believe it's 94. We're putting the infection fatality rate up there, but the survivability rate is the thing that's more interesting. Is 94% of people age 70 and over survive with the way the virus is now, whether it's attenuated or not. Perhaps we'll find that out later on.
Yeah, these numbers have been coming down. The CDC's been revising. They had that big revision where they made it more lethal. Now they're revising it back down to be less lethal. That first number, though, is really a stunner when you think about it. If a child catches this, the CDC is now saying they have a 3 in 100,000 chance of dying. Now, we're only seeing 1% of children catch it. Less than 1%.
Less than 1%,
in a lot of places.
yes.
And so you can multiply that out. Again, to see what the risk is to your child. It's so minuscule, it's sort of inconceivably small. If you think about it, it's 3 in 10 million or something like that. If you look at the chances of infection and the chances of dying.
And yet, Phil, sorry to interrupt, but we still have these county health officials who love wielding their power over public and even try to over private schools, like this Travis Gales in Montgomery County, Maryland. And they're so threatening to investigate schools, and I mean, it's real quick.
Mayor Bowser here in D.C. put quietly, no announcement or explanation, put a student cap of 11 students per class on private schools in D.C. after the public schools were closed. So you can't go to school more than 2 days a week because you have to split all the classes in half. And so
Phil, it's a form of child abuse. That's what they're doing. Phil, thanks so much. Final thoughts on a tumultuous day when we come back.
Pete Talbot here, along with my son.
It is child abuse. Okay, so I don't have a child in school, but my daughter-in-law is a teacher in Fulton County, and I did not realize that they hadn't gone back to school. I thought they had. So September 21st, they began one full day of in-person instruction. Then October 5th, 2 full days. And then October 14th. I mean, seriously. Oh, gosh. It's just nuts. It's just nuts. Anyway, I know this channel isn't about politics so much, but and also, if the rapture were to happen, I like to say if the rapture is going to happen, I'd love for it to happen on when it's being nationally televised. And so this Saturday, which really could be a really super, super high watch date, the Torah calendar has September 27th, 28th as Rosh Hashanah, because the Torah calendar believes that this is a Jubilee year. And so on Jubilee year, Rosh Hashanah is at Yom Kippur. And if he wanted to do it on national TV, we have the big prayer march that Franklin Graham is doing in Washington on Saturday at noon. And get this, when Trump makes his announcement of the justice, that's supposed to be at 5 p.m. And that is midnight in Israel. So this is not, I'm looking every single day for the rapture, every single day. And this morning I woke up and opened to, I was like, hey, today is Revelation 12 sign day. And 3 years ago. And I opened up to Psalm 22:17 through Psalm 27. So I was like, so 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 were the numbers that were on the page. And so, that's exciting. That's exciting. Let's fly. Let's fly. All right. Love y'all.